Hello, and welcome to Goodnight Channel. I'm PJ.
I'm Jake.
And this week, we played Republic Commando, Star Wars Republic Commandos. Star Wars Episode 2 Republic Commandos.
Game 6 of 52.
And we're 11.53846153846% complete with this year's catalog of games.
Entirely unnecessary, but I'm glad you felt you needed to read that number out.
I wanted you to know how far we are. And how it's just a little over 10%. That's it. Got a long way to go.
Sadly.
And, yeah. Take it away.
Star Wars Republic Commando was created by LucasArts in 2005. It is a first-person squad-based shooter. The game revolves around Delta Squad, a group of elite stormtroopers during the Clone Wars. That's all I got still.
Okay.
I was trying to rewrite this in my head as to how to say it, and it didn't matter. So,
the game opens up with the clone trooper that you will be controlling, 38. That's his code name. I don't think he has a normal, he doesn't have a cutesy name.
he does.
He does?
Yep.
What's his nickname?
Boss.
Whatever. That's because he's the leader, but he doesn't have a cutesy I'm Bricktop or something.
No, everyone calls him Vic Boss.
They just call him Boss because he's the boss.
Yeah, Boss Nass.
Boss Nass. Jabba the Hutt. He's Jabba the Hutt. Anyway.
Moving on.
And you're in first person and you're being born. Kinda.
Yeah, it's really weird.
You're a baby and then you're a little kid and you look at the little kids and they look at you. And you're grown up and the Kaminoans are you're special. You're going to be different than all the other clone troopers.
You kind of remind me of the BioShock 1 opening where he's like, you're going to do something special.
Yeah. So 38 is on a plane and he hijacks the plane and it crashes into the ocean. He then swims to a lighthouse because there's always a lighthouse. Always a lighthouse. That's the one thing. There's always a lighthouse in this game. BioShock Infinite is a game released in 2013 by 2K Games.
2K Games.
Challenge everything. So 38 is the clone trooper you control. You're told that the commandos are a group of clone troopers who are different than all the other clone troopers. They're meant to lead, or they're meant to be small little squads that go in and fuck shit up real hardcore so you're the leader of Delta Squad, which is a squad consisting of 4 commandos.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's actually multiple Delta Squads.
Oh, what? No. There's not multiple Delta Squads.
Yeah, because that's Delta 38.
Oh. What?
I think.
No, because multiple people refer to them as Delta Squad when they're talking about multiple people, in the end.
Oh, maybe Delta 38 is their code name for their character, because the boss is 38.
Yeah.
Maybe I misread that somewhere.
There are definitely more Republic Commandos. It's just that
yeah.
whatever Delta Squad is, they seem important. I mean, they are important in the grand scheme of things.
It's kind of like SEAL Team 6, but it didn't make any sense.
What?
Yeah, because SEAL Team 6 is named that to make it sound like there's only 6 members. But there's tons. But here they're called Delta Squad, but they only have 4 members, so it's really obvious.
Is Delta mean 4?
Delta's the 4th letter of the alphabet.
I thought that was D.
Delta.
You learn something new every day. Interesting. Anyway, so you're trained, and what makes commandos different from all the other clone troopers is that they have a little bit of a personality.
Very little personality.
No,
there
is
some there.
Their only personality. What are you talking about? And different voices sometimes because clones. It doesn't really make sense, but I kind of get it, and it works often enough that I don't really mind. So like you have the person you play as has a little bit of a personality too, but you're like kind of the straight man, like clone trooper. Your code is 38.
It's a longer title. You're actually 1138.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You're RC 1138.
You learn something new every day.
So if that means anything to you, that means he's a Republic Commando 1138.
Oh, RC 1138.
A lot of the other ones have even higher numbers, like
Wow.
1207, I think, is the other guy.
Interesting.
So there's a lot.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool,
Yeah.
actually. So you have you at the very least, and you have a little bit of personality, but you're mostly like, if you've seen Attack of the Clones, which first of all, I'm sorry, or Revenge of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, Revenge of the Shit. I'm also sorry, but if you've seen those movies, you know what the clone troopers sound like, or more importantly, the Clone Wars cartoon.
Did they get the same voice actor?
I don't know. Well, I'm pretty sure all the clone troopers have the same voice actor, and they're all Jango Fett.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that also in the cartoon?
Yeah, I think so, because they actually talk in the cartoon a little bit.
I haven't seen any
I also
of it.
think that I might be wrong about this. Send a letter if I'm wrong to
P.O.
Box whatever.
We honestly need it.
I kind of want one. Let's go to the mail tomorrow and say P.O. Box.
Yeah, and then we can edit it in.
Yeah. P.O. Box 1, 2, 3.
Send us a letter to P.O. Box.
I might be wrong about this, but I think that the Clone Wars CG cartoon has these clone troopers in it. I might be completely wrong. It has clone troopers in it. That's all that matters.
I don't know if that's true, because when I look up Republic Commandos, I only find books for it.
Oh, okay. There's books. You can read books. Read the books instead of playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably better than the game. And shorter.
No.
I probably could have read a book faster than playing this game.
No. It's only 8 hours. It's a short game.
Book only takes like an hour.
Yeah, book only takes an hour.
It's a Star Wars book. You know
Star
you
Wars
can
book.
read down the middle of the page and get the whole story.
Yeah. So you got 38. You've got 40, who is just 38, but with less of a personality. He's Fixer. You've got 38 again. 62?
I'm like, why did you say 38 again?
62. You got 62. His name is Scorch. He's the comic relief. And then you got 07. His name is Sev. He's the cool guy who kill people. That's his personality. He's got a really, really deep voice for some reason.
Yeah, they all have different voices, which I find strange, but
Whatever.
maybe if you're raised differently amongst a million clones, you get a different accent sometimes.
Well, they have slightly different genes, so they have to have slightly different genes.
No?
Yes,
Why?
because they are they're brought up to be specialists in things. So they have very slightly different genes.
That's all training.
Yeah, but they make it seem like they have different genes because they have different personalities.
Well, we shouldn't really argue about this because Star Wars is wrong about science. So let's move on.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah, this is like arguing about genes and memes and fucking Metal Gear. It doesn't matter.
It's not.
The genes.
Let's not get into that fucking hole.
The metal hole. The first day you see action, like real action, not
Simulated action?
thank you, is Geonosis.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, so I wrote Genos.
Yeah, Genos comes down. He's cool. He's hot. He's a hot robot.
Hot robot.
Hot robot.
The first gameplay section is Geonosis, which you might remember from Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars. Remember all those wars in that movie?
What do you mean? It's about a war. There's a general. His name's Grievance.
I hate him.
There's a general, so there's got to be a war.
Isn't there a Count Dookie in that as well?
Yes, but he's a count. Counts don't run wars.
You're right, they're Draculas.
Yeah, he looks like a Dracula. He's got a red lightsaber like a Dracula.
Yeah, he looks just like a Dracula.
He actually does look up. Probably because he is Dracula. Now that I think about it, I'm sure Christopher Lee's played Dracula at least once.
I think he did. Who else did he play? He didn't
Was
play...
he Dracula in the Hammer movies?
I think he's Dracula.
Because I know that he's Frankenstein.
You know what's really weird is Tardoff.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
That's who I meant. Is
God, I'm so good at Star Wars.
yeah, you are. You know a lot of character names. He was Van Helsing in the Hammer movies.
Weird.
Yeah, isn't that kind of
Christopher
strange?
Lee is everything.
Yeah. Let's change this podcast to Hammer Remembrance Podcast.
Yeah, I've seen every Hammer movie.
I've seen a lot of them.
I haven't really. I've seen a couple.
My favorite one was Dracula and the 7 Golden Vampires.
See, I like I like Jason X. It's my favorite Hammer movie, where Jason goes to space and he beats up the campers in the sleeping bag.
I really want to watch Halloween 3.
I really want. Have you seen H2O?
No.
It's bad. Don't.
Don't.
I saw it.
I've seen it, I guess, maybe, but I turned it off because I went, what? Anyway. So immediately these clone troopers are thrown into battle on Geonosis. Geonosis. So immediately our stormtroopers are thrown into battle on Geonosis, where they fight a bunch of bug people.
Geonosians.
Geonosians? How do you know so many names?
'Cause they're from Geonosis. What do you mean? They're just Geonosians.
Geonosians. Well, yeah, so you fight a bunch of these bug people. Geonosians, whatever.
Well, wait, you're not introduced to bug people. You're introduced to...
Big robots.
No, you're introduced to little... Did we play the same game? You're introduced to little robots first.
Are you?
Yes. You are introduced...
Yeah.
Okay.
The bugs come when you go inside.
Yeah, one by one, you're introduced to both the majority of the enemy types in the game, your squad mates, and all of your battle gear.
Yes.
They introduce them one by one.
You got to remember that you played this game 2 days ago, whereas I played this like a week ago, and I've been playing Chrono Trigger since.
First, you only have a pistol, and you meet... I don't know which ones you meet in what order, but you meet your first clone trooper guy, and he's boring, I think. I don't really remember.
They're all boring.
No, they're not. The one guy is boring. Fixer is boring. He has
really
no personality. Boring. Although he does do the cut the chatter thing, which I think is kind of cute. Like when they're talking. No person. Yeah. He's the
straight
no nonsense guy.
Yeah.
Because 38 doesn't seem to really mind. So you're introduced. First, you only have a pistol, and then they give you the stormtrooper submachine gun.
Yeah. Looks like the Halo rifle.
I guess
it just feels like it.
I guess
when you shoot stuff.
And then you play around with that for a second, and you immediately remap the crosshair button to the
right click,
so it actually makes sense.
Instead of
grenade to middle mouse button because it feels a lot better. And you also realize that those are the only 2 weapons you're ever going to use because the other 2 are shit. You either never have enough ammo for the grenade launcher, or the sniper rifle just doesn't fire quickly enough.
Yeah.
So you're introduced to your weaponry, you're introduced to your squad mates, and you're introduced to shitty battle droids. And then, I think a super battle droid? Like one?
Yeah, one, maybe? And then tank. No.
No.
You see it, you kind of like shoot at them vaguely.
What? The tank?
There's like one tank.
No, there's a tank there and it immediately gets fucking destroyed. It's within the first 10 seconds of the game. So you're introduced to the super battle droids, and then you go inside, and then you're introduced to Geonosians.
Geonosians.
Yes.
Which are creepy.
They're creepy. They're really weird to introduce as like your... This game has a weird thing where it's like the shooting is not meant for like target following. Like it doesn't feel good for it, like tracking things. Because your guns are not hit... Almost none of your guns except for your sniper rifle are hit scan. All of them have a projectile that shoots. I think maybe even your sniper rifle is like a really, really quick projectile. None of them feel like hit scan weapons. So you have these fucking bugs that fly around at 1,000,000 miles an hour every once in a while. And they're constantly out of your view, especially if you're playing 4.3. Like, we installed the mod... full disclosure, we played in widescreen because we downloaded a mod for it.
And I extended my FOV so I wouldn't throw up.
Yeah, me too. And, yeah, so it's a little bit better, but in 4.3, it's like, oh, holy shit, like, these things just fly around, because I played a little bit in that mode. And it's just weird, because it doesn't feel good.
No, not at all. It feels very dated. Which doesn't seem right for a game that came out in 2005, because I think
after Halo.
Yeah, other games that have better field of views and...
Yeah.
Was Halo widescreen?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I don't think it is. I don't think Xbox One was widescreen.
You mean Xbox original?
Yeah, whatever.
Not the Xboner. So it's just odd because they would work perfectly well later on in the game, or like even later on in the level, but you're introduced to them so quickly, and they seem like such a difficult enemy to just throw against a player.
Well, they're not that difficult, because then you're introduced to another one that is much more difficult.
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, these guys are kind of difficult. And then you get these ones that are flying around with laser rifles that are impossible. I think I put in whole clips into them and they wouldn't go down. I went, what is this enemy?
You have to like snipe a very specific part of them.
Yes.
And they'll die like instantly.
But I could never hit it.
Again, it's not like it's hard as much as it's just like, it just doesn't feel good to introduce an enemy like that so quickly in a game where scanning for targets doesn't feel that good.
Yeah. There's also another enemy type. I think it's the only other one. There are baby Genosians.
They're at the end of the game as well.
Yeah.
I noticed that they had stopped using them, and then they used them again for one,
which didn't make
second.
any sense to me. But whatever. I found that very disturbing for some reason. Just going around murdering babies. I was like, whoa. Are we sure this is a Star Wars game? Because this is the franchise that decided to have like nice things instead of bad stuff, and now I'm murdering babies for some reason.
Yeah,
it felt very out of place for Star Wars.
Yeah, it would be weird if any Star Wars movies included murdering children.
Yeah,
and then somehow saying
grotesque decapitations of
and
mutilations, and
and high ground.
High ground.
In my opinion, the Jedi are wrong.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, it felt very strange in a game that it's okay to murder baby aliens.
No, I thought it was okay. I
thought it was okay to murder baby aliens.
No, I felt like right away they were trying to go with a grittier kind of deal. Which I'm totally, like, it makes sense.
Sure. I get it. It just seems strange, especially from a LucasArts game. Like, I don't think another studio helped with it in any capacity. That's why it's so bad.
It's not bad.
It's just not good. I know.
It's I guess it's odd. I think it fits well. I think that if it had a weightier shooting, it would really drive home the grittiness, feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. You notice it right away when you land on Geonosis. When things speckle on your visor, there's a little scan that comes by and wipes it, and I was like, it's the little things. I thought it was kind of cool. I like that. I feel like I'm in the helmet. Like,
yeah.
I like that. I wish there were more visor modes. Right away when I was cycling through them, it's just low light and nothing.
There's just low light. Yeah, there's no other.
Yeah, because it'd be cool if there was a couple other modes.
Binocular mode.
Yeah, something like that.
But then you'd need to have a working sniper rifle and have huge environments that you could look down to use that.
Yeah, exactly. All the environments in this game. Actually, Geonosis is probably the most open.
Yeah, and then after that, it's all corridors.
Yeah,
it's very small with corners.
Yeah, it's very it's supposed to feel tactical.
I understand. Yeah.
So you go in. It's supposed to be small rooms. Every once in a while, they have an open space, but Geonosis definitely feels the most open.
When you get to open spaces, they're not fun though. But we'll get to that. We'll come back to that in a minute when we get to part 2, chapter 2.
When you're introduced to super battle droids, what was your first? When you're introduced to super battle droids, and you killed your first one, what did you think?
I said, "Holy shit, these guys are hard. I hope they're just little mid-level bosses." But I was wrong.
Oh yeah, they're not. It's not like they're. Again, there's a lot of stuff in this game that I feel like it's not like it's hard. They're just boring to fight because they take like 50% more bullets than they should.
They showed them off as hey, you could hit these spots, but every time I hit them, they wouldn't go down. But there'd be a few times where I could take them down quick. Yeah, a couple hits, they're down. But most of the time, they just took all my bullets. So I just tried to avoid them as much as I could. Do they introduce the dispensers in the first part of the game?
Yes.
Yeah. So
maybe. Yes.
I think just regular ones, but not super droid dispensers. I think those are in chapter 2.
Yeah.
So they introduced these droid dispensers, and again, they're just more bullet sponges. They're just more bullet sponges.
The dispensers?
Yeah, because you're sitting there. This is another good thing that I wanted to talk about. Why does everything take so long to do? If you tell your guys to put a bomb on something, or hack a door, it takes 10 seconds. 10 really long seconds. And you're just waiting most of the time. Or with those dispensers, droids are coming out, hitting your guy, killing him. And you got to pick them back up, start the thing again, kill more droids. And you're it's hard to have ammo at the end of these things because they just take up. They're just.
See, I didn't feel that way. Only when I was completely alone, or not. I'm sorry, not completely alone, but when there wasn't action going on and I had someone slice a door because I didn't want to breach it. Also, I should get into this really quick. You can have your squad mates do a bunch of stuff. You can have them open things, man turrets, place bombs on things. It's a really, really big part of the game. You look at something. It's actually really, really intuitive how it works. Where it's just you look at something, you hit F, or whatever's on an Xbox controller, some retarded black button or white button. I don't know how the Xbox controller looks. I know it's too big for my hands because I got little baby hands. So you look at a thing and you press F, and they just do. It kind of highlights what it's going to do when you're targeting. It shows which direction they're going to face, and they just go and do it, and it works really, really well.
Yeah. The only thing I ever had a problem with is I would put them in cover. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the cover was only on one side, and it was facing the wrong way.
Yeah, you have to look at their little silhouette. But if you're like in the heat of battle and you just go click something, it's hard to kind of fix that.
That's what happened to me a couple times. In some of the arena battles, that happens.
Yeah, for sure, because you can face them both ways. So if there's no enemies around and you have them slice something, then you feel the 10 seconds. Like, that's the only time, though, because I felt it was a good tension type deal. Like, I'd have them, place a charge on a droid dispensary, and as the droids were coming out, if they were the normal battle droids, it was easy enough to make sure that my guys were hitting the droids that were coming out, mm-hmm. or anything that was anywhere near the guy who was placing the charge. If there were super battle droids, I would just chuck the electric grenades because it halts them for a good long time. I never felt the length of the timer when I was in the heat of something.
Now you can switch grenades, right?
Yeah.
Because every time I pressed the button, it wouldn't switch grenades. I even tried remapping it, and it wouldn't let me switch grenades.
Well then, why did you keep playing? I'm very confused.
I kept trying to figure it out. It wouldn't go, and I went, all right, I guess I'm just stuck with whatever grenades I have.
Well, that's bullshit.
But I got to use the other ones only at certain times, so I thought, well, maybe I only have them at certain times.
No. I can switch grenades whenever I wanted.
It wouldn't let me.
It's really important
to
do it.
I know, and I couldn't.
Oh, well, then you have a very tainted experience of this game.
I guess so. That just changed my whole perspective a little, because it's like I could not get grenades to switch. I'd hit the button.
Oh, yeah.
And it wouldn't do anything.
Maybe this is why... All right. Maybe this is... I feel like you were really, really frustrated. The grenades are... The three most important weapons in this game are your pistol, because it's actually really powerful.
Yeah, if you let it charge up.
Yeah, it's actually pretty powerful. Your machine gun, because it's if your targeting reticule for it is way too big, but if you in your mind know where it's actually going to hit, because it hits kind of off to the side, it's actually pretty accurate. The other two guns are pretty much useless. And your grenades. Grenades are so insanely important in this game, and constantly switching between them. Like, later on in Chapter 2, they have a big boss enemy, which I'm sure was really annoying for you, because you couldn't switch to the flashbang grenades whenever you wanted.
Which boss was that?
The guy with the big machine gun.
Yeah, he was super hard.
Yeah, because if you switch to flashbangs, you can flashbang him. And then you can throw the grenades that immediately detonate on contact.
I played the game on hard mode, apparently.
Yeah. No wonder you have such a horrible... Like, I have a generally pretty positive opinion of the game.
I just thought maybe it was for something else, like, and I wasn't reading that button right.
No.
You can switch them, but that just really upsets me.
I'm sorry.
Well, whatever.
Now I kind of feel bad.
Because
you didn't get the full experience. But yeah, the grenades are... I'm sure you, looking back, you realize, like, oh,
that would have saved a lot of trouble with those dispensers and a couple of things I was getting stuck on. Because
when they have big groups of dispensaries and they all release something all at once, you time up your grenade throw so that you throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
which you
immediately
can
was
do.
thinking that as soon as you said it, I was like, oh.
Yeah, it makes those sections a lot better.
Yeah. Way better.
Yeah.
Playable, maybe.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Well, I guess maybe I won't shit on the game entirely because I played it slightly wrong.
Yeah, like I said, it's not the worst. It's you know, it's a game.
Yeah.
Video game. So yeah, Geonosis is you have an objective in Geonosis, but I don't really. You're supposed to kill a guy.
Yeah, Count Dookie.
No, you're not supposed to, no, it's some other guy. It's a Geonosian. It's a Geonosian. You even get his little picture in the corner.
I thought there was someone else.
Nope, it's a Geonosian.
Maybe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
So you
some,
go
like,
after a Geonosian.
You go after like a general in the Geonosian army or whatever.
I thought he captured someone, but maybe I'm getting confused with another chapter.
Maybe there's 3.
It all became
Probably
a
just
blur after a while.
Kashyyyk, yeah. So your Delta Squad is tasked when they get to the planet to go and kill a general or someone important in the Geonosian army. You kill him. I don't know what you do then. Oh, you go into a big core ship. I don't really know why. For coordinates, maybe? I don't know. You go into a big core ship.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah. It was odd. You're introduced to a spider droid. That's when you're introduced to the spider droid. When you get to the opening of the core ship, you're introduced to another new enemy called a spider droid, which are like tiny walking tanks with where you shoot them. You shoot the glowing red spot for massive damage. Giant enemy crab. They look like giant enemy crabs.
They do. Yeah, they really do. I wasn't very impressed with them.
They're nice little ways for you to kind of stretch your tactical legs because you want to move your guys around the arena a little bit.
Yeah.
And you want them to be at the anti-armor things unless people are spawning, which they don't in the first encounter, but I don't really mind them. They're okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're fine.
It was fun. That area was really fun.
Yeah. And then you do whatever you do in the core ship. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't really remember now.
Yeah.
You walk around and you blow stuff up and then you go home.
You know, to the game's credit, the level design credit, it funnels you really well without actually telling you directly where to go. Usually, you know where to go. It's very clear. They mapped it out, even in areas that have branching areas, like branching paths that kind of like loop in on each other. You always know where the next area is going to be.
Even though it's a corridor, I never felt turned around.
Yeah.
I don't think there was one time where I walked backwards and went, "Oh shit, I've already been here."
You also notice in this chapter, this very first chapter, that the music is fucking great.
Yeah, the music's really what kept me playing.
Oh yeah, I mean, so Jake played without his headphones on, so I could hear everything that was going on, and I just kept hearing the music, and I was like, "Holy shit, this game sounds awesome!"
It gets you really pumped up.
Oh yeah, like it's really cool. The only thing that's kind of odd is that when you go down, all the music cuts.
Yeah.
And as you're standing back up, when they revive you, it like takes a second, and then the music's just there again, and it's kind of weird. But, you know, it's fine. It's a game from 2005. I'm not going to hold it against it.
I think the music should have just been doled out, muffled when you're down. Kind of like a game we're going to play soon.
Call of Duty 4 Black Ops 10.
Left 4 Dead 2.
Does that happen?
I think so. I think it's very dim, but you have like this more heartbeaty screaming sounds. If I remember right, it depends if there's music playing in the level at the time. I think it starts to play a more sinister version. We'll find out. We'll talk about it.
We'll find out.
We won't call back to this because I'm going to forget we talked about it.
Perfect.
Yay.
So then you beat Geonosis.
Somehow. I don't really remember the end of it.
Yeah, you do something with a core ship.
Boom.
It explodes.
You get out just in time.
Just in time. Although, I think you can get out not just in time, because I noticed that when it started counting down time, like when it was like 5 minutes left, was my last checkpoint. The only checkpoint the game gave me was at the start of 5 minutes. Even though I had a lot of stuff, I had died with like 30 seconds left or something like that. And I figured, it's not I didn't think it was a real timer.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fake timer that was just going as I did stuff. and I did stuff faster that time because I knew what I was doing, and I got out with like a minute or something left. So I think you can mess up that part, which is cool.
Yeah.
If you can. And if you can't, I'm a big stupid, so. So yeah, then you beat Geonosis.
Yep. And we move on to my favorite chapter, Chapter 2 of 3. I don't remember the name of that chapter.
I don't remember the name of any of the chapters.
I don't think they had names.
They do. They do have names.
Do they?
I'm almost positive they do, but I really don't know what they are.
So Chapter 2 is the Star Destroyer. Star Killer? Something. I don't know what you call those ships, but it's a Star Destroyer. It's called the...
It's a prequel Star Destroyer.
It had a name. The Punishment.
Oh, the Pillar of Autumn.
The Pillar of Autumn.
What a good name for it. You know what's pretty good? Halo.
I didn't play them.
We should play a Halo.
No.
They're really not bad.
I hate them.
I've never played it. I hate it.
I mean, I have played them. I just get bored by them really easily.
You played this game. Halo CE is just as good.
Spoilers, I was really bored by this game.
Yeah, but also, I'm telling you.
I like FPS games when they're not boring.
Halo's not boring.
CE
is not bad at
Those
all.
fucking bug people, what are they called? You know, the zombie men? They're horrible.
The Flood?
Yeah.
Why are they horrible?
They're so boring.
How are they boring?
They're just every generic sci-fi zombie.
But they're only every generic sci-fi zombie now.
No, all the sci-fi books I read as a kid were about flood zombies.
Yeah, but this is now a video game. You can't judge the two based on each other.
Anyway, so Chapter 2 opens up with the Delta Squad being called into a derelict? No, into a...
Derelict?
I don't know if derelict's the right word.
It is.
It's just...
It's empty.
It's not empty.
It is empty. They're not getting any communications from it. That's
Okay.
why they're going.
So there's a derelict starship.
Star Maker.
So Chapter 2 opens up with Delta Squad being called into a derelict Star Destroyer. The opening of this chapter I felt was very cool. It was a big change of pace from the first chapter where you were going run and gun into a battle zone. Here you guys are going in a bit more stealthy, where you're launched through space independently into each of the engines because they're all shut off.
Right.
And as you come in, I think it was the engines, or was it the missile tubes? Either way, these big tubes, and you come in and it's really cramped because it's all these little access tunnels and different things, and there's these like robots that shoot you with electricity.
Well, they don't introduce them right away.
No,
they do.
No, there's Murdochs.
Slow.
There's a Murdoch.
What the fuck is a Murdoch? What is a Murdoch?
From Star Wars Episode 5.
A New Hope.
No, Return of the Jedi.
What is a Murdoch? There's not a Murdoch. I don't know what you're talking about. There's not a Murdoch.
The thing, remember they got inside the slug, the space slug, and they're like, Murdochs. And then
there's not a Murdoch.
I thought there was.
No.
Well, one of the guys says that.
Whatever.
He does, and so I thought that's what it was, but it's not.
This does start a very big reoccurring theme of having you turn on low light vision for literally 2 seconds.
And then turn it right back off.
Because
moving on with your life.
You constantly go, oh, cool. Because it looks really awesome. The low light vision looks great.
It looks really cool.
It's always for one single room, and usually not even for the full length of the room.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
That happens a lot in Chapter 3.
Yeah, where they just keep... Yeah, it's
like half the room
weird.
is blacked out for no reason.
Because they're all really cool. I really like when they do it because it feels different.
This level, again, I want to talk about...
Oh, you go in alone. You don't have squad mates.
Each of you go your separate routes, so you're communicating through comms, and you hear people... you hear some of your squad mates get in trouble, so you're trying to locate them. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of tension in this part, and I was like, oh, this chapter is really cool. It's going to be a bit darker. Try and figure out the mysteries of this starship, why one of our Star Destroyers is derelict now, what has happened to this. Like, I figured it was going to be a lot more low-key action in this chapter. You're going to like go in, and it's going to be kind of figuring things out. You're going to be trying to figure out what's going on with these different people in here. Like, I was thinking more Death Troopers. I know
I don't know what Death Troopers are.
Yeah, I know it's a weird reference because it's the extended universe.
Which is shit.
It is, but that book's kind of fun, and I'm not really...
What's a Death Trooper?
Death Troopers was a zombie book. I know. I just shit on zombies. But this one's really weird and fun for some reason. I listened to it as an audiobook once. I really like Star Wars audiobooks from time to time because they feel like watching the movies because they have all the sound effects and everything. So it's kind of fun to listen to. But this one, like, there's a whole spaceship of zombie stormtroopers. And it's just kind of fun. So I was like, oh, it's a little different. And Han Solo and Chewie show up. Which...
We're home.
Yeah, so spoilers.
Spoilers, they're home.
They're home. Yeah, so that's what I was expecting is some darker tones with this chapter where we're going to figure out something had gone wrong or some type of, like, Empire experiments or something darker than what it actually ends up being.
I thought there was going to be something with Order 66, like the beginnings of it kind of deal.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool, too. Like, I really wish there was a more sinister reason to why we were there. But it's just that there are slavers.
Well, they're trying to get some information off of the ship. I don't remember. Maybe it is something interesting, but you don't really learn about it, so it doesn't really matter. But they're there to get the information off of the Star Destroyer and give it to the Separatists.
Yeah.
So I think this has a really boring setup and actually a pretty cool ending. Like, how it escalates is pretty cool.
I thought the setup was cool, then the middle was kind of boring, and then the ending was also kind of cool.
Like,
flying in and doing that little etch, like, I was like, oh, this is a change of pace.
Yeah.
It's interesting versus it just etch and schlock like the other two chapters.
Well, I figured, whoa, Kashyyyk's good.
No, but the opening is etch and schlock.
Yeah.
Immediately you're just cast into action. Like, I really like doing something different with the...
Yes. Well, I think my issue was that I saw Star Destroyer and I thought Grey Quarters. And they were, but...
There were some open areas.
They're cool, still.
Because you get to go in some of the bays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
It was my favorite chapter.
I don't think it's the best chapter, but it's my favorite. It's the most interesting.
Yeah. It was fun to explore an environment that I'm familiar with from the original movies.
Yeah.
And that was kind of fun. Versus Kashyyyk, which is whatever. It's just Ewok town.
Ewok town, yeah.
Anyway, moving on. There was that's when you're introduced to slavers. Slavers are these dumb enemies that aren't very strong and drop shotguns, and you kill them with shotguns now, and that's really fun.
The slavers are way better than the battle droids because they actually die in a reasonable amount of hits.
Yes.
Again, I'd like to stress you're totally alone in this part.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's also very, very smart of them to introduce an enemy with low hit points.
Yeah.
You die very quickly, and they die very quickly. So it feels like probably how the rest of the game really honestly should feel. But it feels very snappy, where it's like, oh, the slavers are here, bam, 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 and if they hit me a couple times, I'm going to die, and I'm going to have to reload my save. That feels correct in my mind. And it feels very tense and makes you really want your people back.
You start to care for them a little bit. Like, one of them's injured, you're trying to get to him. You're starting to unravel some of the story overall of why these slavers are here, what these separatists are trying to get at. I don't know what they're trying to get at, but they keep trying to throw this story at me.
Well, they don't really talk about it. It's only in like little cutscenes in between loading zones, and they're like 2 seconds long. I don't think they ever try to shove story in my face. They're perfectly content with just letting me walk around
and kill things.
Yeah.
We're also introduced to a stronger version of the slavers.
Yeah, which are interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of like the super battle droids of the battle droids. Then we're also introduced to battle droids again, which seems strange, and I think they even say that as characters are like, oh, more battle droids? What are they doing here?
What I really like about the stronger slavers as opposed to the stronger battle droids is that the stronger slavers, the normal slavers run at you.
Yeah.
Or their tactics are very,
They want to get up close because they have shotguns and melee.
Yeah. And up to this point, I didn't think that this game had strong AI. It actually has a really strong AI sometimes. The more humanoid slavers are they're mercenaries, I guess.
That's right.
They're very, very, they want to flank you. They try to shoot around cover. They feel very tactical. They mesh with the game's overall themes really well, I think.
I think they're much better than the Geonosian upgrades. Like, those enemies are just annoying, whereas
Yeah.
these ones are actually kind of interesting and doing something unique.
Speaking of annoying,
And
those fucking little flying things.
Oh, those are the worst.
They're the worst things that they're one of my least favorite enemies in any game ever.
They're worse than most bats in games.
Yes, well, because they're bats that, when you finally do kill them...
They fly right at you.
And blow up!
Why?
Like, I understand it's easy to dodge them, you just sidestep. But holy shit, is it so annoying to have to remember that every time.
In the middle of a battle, sometimes, you're just like, oh, kill, 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 and then they hit you, and you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, they are so horribly annoying. I cannot stress enough that this game does not do flying enemies well. None of your weapons are hit scan.
Yeah.
So if you shoot at something, they're probably already gone by the time it actually hits.
Horrible.
They are Satan. They are little Satan assholes. I fucking hate them. They're my least favorite. I haven't played a game in a while that had an enemy that was this horrifyingly annoying.
No. I can't think of anything that's
They're
this
so
annoying.
bad.
Except for Castlevania Medusa heads.
Even then, at least the Medusa heads
Have a set pattern.
Well, at least if you hit the Medusa head, they don't go, all right, you hit me. Now I'm going to kamikaze you for some reason.
That's a good point, yeah. Yeah, it drove me mad fighting those things. And there's a couple times where you fight like 3 at once, and like, I'm not paying attention, or like my squad will kill one, and it just flies right into me. It doesn't matter who kills it. They fly right at me every time.
They'll fly into the other people. I noticed. Because I was like, do they fly into other people, or is it just me?
No, more often than not, it seems to be you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen it hit other people and things, but it's almost always like, oh, I'm dead now. Let's aim for the boss.
Yeah, it's I hate them. I hate them so much.
So, anything else interesting in this chapter?
Yes.
Okay. Because I don't remember.
I'm sorry. It's kind of split up into 2 halves, this chapter. The first half is going through the Star Destroyer, kind of figuring out what's going on, meeting up with your squad again. When you finally meet up with your squad, you take back the bridge of the Star Destroyer.
Yes.
Seemingly kind of pointlessly, but I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a reason. Something to do with the engines, I'm sure. And then you go backwards through the Star Destroyer. You don't go backwards through areas you've already been, but you're at the bridge, so you're heading back now.
I think at the bridge is when you discover the Separatists. Because they're
Yes.
trying to capture the ship, and we don't want it captured, so we turn it back on.
We know that there's a separatist. We know that they are coming for the ship.
Yeah.
This is where you kind of figure out, oh, there's separatists coming for the ship.
You see them out the window.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It warps in,
Yeah.
and that's when the droids start showing up because they're sending droids over.
Yeah.
So you go backwards through the Star Destroyer to get to something. The engines or the guns, I think, actually.
You go... No. You go... Sorry. You go through all the bays to close off all the entrances.
Oh, right. So that they can't keep coming in.
Exactly, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
That part was actually kind of fun, except for me because of my grenade problem, but
Those
clearly it's a better part than I had.
They're the best. To me, they're the best, most interesting parts of the game. More often than not, especially the first time you go to a hangar bay, they expect you to blow up all of the pods.
Yeah.
But as you go through the bays, it kind of becomes like, just don't worry about it. You closed it, go. Like,
yeah.
It feels like you are 4 people against an army, but you're 4 really, really highly trained people against an army. You don't feel overly powerful. You just feel like you have the superior tactics against these shitty droids. So, especially during the part where you raise the elevator and get in the walker that blows stuff up.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the last hangar bay. When you get to the last hangar bay, it's totally fucked. There's like 20 droid dispensaries. And they're just like, just close it off, figure it out, hang out there. Like, you have to hold it there for a certain amount of time. So what's really cool about that part is that you can blow up some of the dispensaries to kind of slow them down, but it's pointless. Like, they introduce you to the hangar at the front, and your objective is in the back. So your best thing to do is fight your way around the outside of the hangar bay, get to the back, set up positions. It feels very tactical.
Yeah.
when this game feels tactical, it feels good. Like, when it feels like you're setting up your guys to get into these areas to make sure that everything's locked down, and you're kind of... You have one guy on the computer. So you're kind of running back and forth because you have a gap in your people. Because normally you have 3 people plus you. It covers pretty much everything. But with one guy on a computer, you have gaps to kind of like run through to make sure that things are getting through.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It works really well, I think.
It was really fun.
Yeah.
That last area, for sure.
And then there's one last area. Oh, I didn't talk about the prison cells. They're fine.
They're cool.
They're filled with... I like any of the areas that are filled with the slavers. Not because I like the slavers, but because I like fighting them.
Yeah, they're fun to fight. And I like using the shotgun on them. It feels really fun.
Yeah, it's like one of the few weapons that has any kick to it.
It actually feels like there's a weapon in your hand. Because they even mention, like, they say, oh, this is a gun that uses traditional...
No. He gets it and he's like, this gun just uses laser stuff, but they make it seem like it's not. I don't know why. They must have nostalgia for traditional weaponry.
Yeah.
Which I thought... I really like 38's personality. I think it shows through in this section a lot better, where he gets kind of flustered at something, and they're like, "Sir?" And he's like, "Never mind, don't worry about it." Like, it's kind of cute. I think this is the area that shows the best of the game, and probably some of the worst of the game too.
Yeah,
but mostly the best of the game. The super battle droids are the worst part of the entire game,
and there's a lot of them in this section.
Yes,
I think
even more in Kashyyyk.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a little bit easier on Kashyyyk because it's a little more open environments than...
Well, they give you grenades a lot more often. Yeah. Again, you don't know the pleasure, but...
I mean, I used the ones I had.
Yeah.
They weren't always good, but they did the job.
So you radio in for a different captain, a nearby Republic ship, and it comes and you blow up the star donut star.
Yeah.
You blow up the Separatist ship.
Again, I don't know why we had to call in another ship, because weren't we on a ship when we went into the ship?
I think you were just in a small, like, recon ship, but I don't really know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
How'd they get there on a recon ship?
Well, I think the thing was they figured that this ship probably wasn't that important, but important enough to send commandos, but not so important that we need to waste an entire Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
In the area, so when they realize that there's a Separatist ship coming,
they also have...
They kind of...
I think they're trying to get comms back online.
Maybe that's it too.
Because like all those little robots also block comms.
Yeah.
Until you kill them, and then you stop getting static sounds.
Yeah, it never felt like... I never had a moment in this game where I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Even when I didn't know, I felt kind of okay doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Never really bothered me. So then, yeah, you blow up a Separatist ship.
That was fun.
Yeah.
The end.
Let's
not talk about part 3. I'm just kidding. Let's talk about part 3. So, after we blow up the Separatist ship, we come home, we debrief, I guess. I don't know. Chapter 3, Kashyyyk. Our mission here is to find Grandpa Chewie. No.
Yes.
Grandpa Chewie?
Yep.
That's what we do.
Tarful. That's his name.
Yeah, I kept wanting to call him Truffle.
He's a Wookiee.
He's a Chewbacca.
He's a Chewbacca from the planet Ewok.
So you find Chewbacca. You save the day. Roll the credits.
And they go, we really are Star Wars Republic Commandos.
He turns 38. We're home. Chapter 3, Kashyyyk.
Kashyyyk.
Basically.
You're in the shit.
It feels the weakest of the chapters.
No. I didn't care about the setting, but it's definitely, like, gameplay-wise, the strongest of the chapters.
That's true. Chapter 3, Kashyyyk. In this, how does that chapter open? Can you remind me real quick? I really don't remember. I remember, like, the end of it super well, where you fight that robot man for, like, a second. The 2 flying robot mercenaries.
That is not the end of that level.
Yeah. Nothing happens after that. They don't shoot big guns or anything.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. I already smell oranges. I'm gonna have a heart attack,
I should have bought those.
Yeah, you should have bought oranges so they can smell them and think I'm having a stroke when really I'm just having a fucking brain aneurysm.
Maybe we should go to the store in the morning.
Yeah, maybe.
So Chapter 3 opens up with Kashyyyk, the shit planet. It is boring.
Chapter 3, Kashyyyk.
What happens in the beginning of it?
Okay,
real quick.
it opens with you're in the forest, you go and you kill some slavers.
Yeah.
You go from forest...
It's hard to remember things that are so boring.
You go from forest... Oh, Kashyyyk's so well constructed.
Okay, so Chapter 3 opens up with Delta Squad needing to rescue a Wookiee leader? Commander?
Yeah.
One of the two?
He's like the general of the Wookiees.
General Truffle. And I guess he was imprisoned by the slavers.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
the separatist forces.
Yeah, which is just slavers for some reason. I was wondering that. I was like, oh, these guys again? I found that very strange. So you make your way through some forest corridors until you finally make it to the prison camp holding General Truffle. And that's when you start to learn that he's being taken away by...
General Nefarious.
Yes, with his robot friends. They're hard. They reminded me of the IG-88 fight from Shadows of the Empire.
Again, they're a lot less hard when you have grenades.
Yeah, but they fly up in the air.
And then you know exactly where they're going to land. So when they fly up in the air, you know where to throw their grenades down, right where they're going to land, and then they get stunned.
It's really cool. They're a really cool enemy.
Yeah, I like them, actually. They're kind of fun.
And, yeah, because they're different.
Yeah, they feel very different.
From all the other enemies.
Yeah. And they don't fly around the screen unnecessarily, but they do. Yeah. They are quick.
Yeah.
They feel like a good enemy.
They jump around a lot. If you've ever played Shadows of the Empire, they play just like IG-88, which is a cool battle in that game. That's better game, better Star Wars game, better story-oriented Star Wars game. The one that bridges the gap between 5 and 6.
Yeah, I like Han Solo too. What's
Han
his
Solo
name
too.
in that? Ham Salad?
Ham Salad. What is that a reference to?
Star Wars.
Yeah, but when's that from? Someone else called him that.
Star Wars.
Okay.
The Turkish version.
Oh, yes.
The better version.
So we fight off this robot bodyguards. We rescue General Truffle and, what is it, General Grievous?
Yeah, General Grievous.
He flies away. He doesn't give a shit. Do we chase after him? I don't think we do. I think we just go, we got more shit to do now that we've rescued General Truffle.
Grievous is not the main issue here.
No, he's just like a pawn in the larger scheme of things.
Well, you are a pawn in the larger scheme. He's part of the larger scheme.
Oh.
Really, is what it comes down to, is that you have shit to do on Kashyyyk that is not with him. If you can take him down, that is a plus.
Yeah.
And he gets away a couple times, I think. And then I think you bring down his destroyer, but he doesn't die, so...
No, we know that because of Star Wars Episode 3.
The New Republic.
The one where that guy's alive and no one cares.
And he's a completely different character. Oh, he looks really cool in this. You see him. You see a 3D model of him. He looks fucking awesome.
He looks kick-ass.
Yeah, he looks like how he looks in the cartoon, which was awesome. Have you really not?
No, I have not.
We should watch it.
No.
No, it's really... I promise, it's really, really good. Like
I'll watch it if you watch Star Trek with me.
Yeah, I already did watch Star Trek with you, so...
More Star Trek.
I watched at least 2 hours of Star Trek.
The first episode.
The entirety of fucking the Clone Wars is an hour, so...
Anyway.
It's really good. You'd like it.
Anyway,
General Grievous looks really cool, for once, besides the cartoon again. He's, like, tall and slender, and he looks like he can do cool shit, and he doesn't just walk around like a big fucking asshole and cough.
Anyway. Yeah, he looks really cool. And he coughs. Great.
He doesn't cough. He's not broken yet.
So after he gets away, we do our thing. We have to go... I'm trying to remember.
Go to the Wookiee village. You get Tarful out, and you go to the Wookiee village.
Why? Why are we going there?
Because the Separatists... You realize that you go there, and you assume that it's a small... Command knows that this is not true. You are told for some reason, because you're commandos, so I don't think it really mattered to you, but you're told that you're there to check out, to get Tarful out because he's important to the Wookiees, and the Wookiees are allies. When you get there, you realize that, oh shit, it's not just a couple slavers. It's the entire Separatist force are trying to take Kashyyyk right now.
Yeah.
So when you get to the prison camp and you realize that it's fucking massive, when it really shouldn't be, like, you were expecting it to be small and to just wipe it off the fucking face of the planet. But you realize, oh, there's Separatists everywhere. So now your goal is to basically liberate a main section of Kashyyyk.
Like this is like the opening hours of the Kashyyyk battle.
Yeah. Yeah, this is before there is a Kashyyyk battle.
Yeah.
This is you, which is kind of what you find out at the end. The Commandos Delta Squad paved the way for the entire Kashyyyk battle to take place.
Yeah. Which is really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool little moment, but we'll get to it when we get to the end section here.
Yeah.
There's lots to talk about with Kashyyyk. It's kind of split up into 3 sections almost.
Well, there's the Get Tarful. There's
Get Tarful, and you're on the ground in nighttime.
Yeah.
So there's Get Tarful, you're in the ground at nighttime, and you fight Slavers, the most recently introduced enemy. And you are introduced to a new enemy, and then robots. And then you are introduced... And then there's the second section, which is kind of like still nighttime, becoming evening.
Yeah.
As you progress through the level, it's becoming evening, which is a really cool effect. Because, there's no actual, they're just switching out the backgrounds.
Yeah, the skyboxes.
But it works really well, because they do it gradually. And you're introduced to... You fight through slavers and then more robots. Like a higher concentration of robots. Until the evening, and you get to a bridge. I would say that that's the second section, the middle section.
Are we blowing up that bridge?
Yeah.
Like a bridge too far?
Yes. I think it's what the chapter is called, actually.
I want to say, yeah. That's
because I noticed that and was like, pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Pretty good. And, so you blow up a bridge. Feels cool. Feels kind of epic.
Yeah. It was a fun part.
Yeah. I thought that was going to be the end of the game, honestly. I thought we were just going to blow up this bridge.
And that's it. But it keeps going.
Yeah, it does.
Chapter 3.
Kashyyyk. So, Chapter 3, Kashyyyk.
Part 3 of 3.
Kashyyyk, Chapter 3, Part 3. So then you blow up the bridge.
You blow up the bridge. And that's when you get orders to go do some more shit on this fucking awful planet. Mudball planet. Get in guns, blow them up. Done.
They do tell you, they say that there's a big separatist ship above Kashyyyk, so you get in anti-air guns, basically.
This is probably one of my favorite parts of the game, because it's kind of like in reverse.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was getting at with the introduction of the enemies, because they introduce them in reverse.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
It rhymes. So in this section, you are leading your squad to get to AA weapons to destroy a capital ship.
Mm-hmm.
What's really cool about this part is you have to leave members with these guns. So each section becomes harder because you have less members of your squad until the very last section where it's really easy. Cause
there's only one room.
Yeah, and then you move on by just walking and ignoring all the enemies. And
you can't do that. I found out the hard way, because if you get in the turret with ignoring them, they'll kill you in the turret.
I did the same thing.
So I walk through. I blew up all the eggs as I walk through, because there's a bunch of Geonosian eggs.
Exactly.
Also, there are Geonosians on Kashyyyk, which is weird.
Something I wanted to talk about is like, why are they back? Because I
they
thought
didn't have
that planet was
enemies.
wiped off the fucking universe.
So yeah, I just blew up the eggs, and then I turned around and just chucked. I saw that was going to be the last part because there was no exit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just chucked every grenade I had into the room and killed them all. It was great.
So yeah, I got killed. So I just did it again by killing everything, and then I walked in there and finished the game.
Yeah, it's really, really cool because again, when you go into part 3, it's almost exclusively battle droids at this point.
Yeah.
And then you're dropping off your people in the same order. I'm almost positive of this because it's Sev first, and he was the last person you get in the beginning of the game. I'm almost positive. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, send me a letter to
P.O. Box fuck you.
P.O. Box fuck you. P.O. Box I hate Star Wars. I'm almost positive though. So you're dropping off people in roughly the same order, or in order. Who cares? You drop them off, and then you're introduced to Geonosians again, and it's kind of like you went backwards. Kashyyyk is really well created, I think.
Yeah.
Like, you start off doing things that you kind of did at the end of at the end of chapter 2, and it feels like you go through like the whole game in like a very small area, and it feels like a complete story almost.
You can by this point you realize you're at the closing of the game, which is
because
it's
you're
a really
at the
good
opening.
Feeling. Yeah.
It's very, very cool. I thought it suffers a little bit because battle droids are boring. They just start throwing a million super battle droids at you.
And they're so hard.
They're just so boring.
Yeah.
They're the most boring enemy in the entire game.
Droidicas are even better.
I don't mind droidicas.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't say that right.
Oh, you made it seem like you're being real... Droidicas they're great. They definitely don't suck my dick.
My bad. No, they're a much more interesting character of that style, like the harder upgraded version of the other, but like fun. Like, oh, they have the shields. You knock out the shields, which you can't do if you don't have the grenades. So how did I do it? I don't know.
Well, you can knock them out. And what's really cool about them is that they don't have a melee attack.
Yeah.
So if there's only a couple, if you can weed them out to just a couple, you can run in and melee them to death. They're much more interesting. I agree.
Yeah, droidekas, they're pretty fun to kill.
I feel like super battle droids should have been like how the mercenaries are to the slavers, where the normal droids aren't very tactical, and then the super battle droids are like tactical droids, and they like hide behind cover and shit, and they go pew pew pew.
Your hand motions are so unnecessary, and they only create noise.
I'm really, I talk with my hands. Yeah, I feel like they should have been that instead of just bullet sponges for whatever weird reason. Also around this area, you realize that you start tearing through enemies a lot faster, which is a really cool feeling. I feel like at the beginning of the game, even the little droids gave me a little bit of trouble. By the end, because you're not any stronger, but you feel stronger. First of all, you realize they die in one melee hit. I was just barrel. Whenever they would just have the normal battle droids, I would just barrel straight through them. Yeah, without a single thought given. Just melee through all of them.
It's fun.
Yeah, it feels good.
The end of the game is fun.
I like the end of the game a lot. Other than the over reliance on super battle droids. So based on all this, game's great. Yeah, game is. I would say one of the best Star Wars games.
Definitely. It's definitely better than a lot of Star Wars games we've gotten.
Well, in general, I think it's better. But based on just what we're talking about here, I would say it's probably one of the best. It's got, I think the game is structured really well. It's not too long. The mechanics are pretty well thought out, other than the other two. I wish there were more weapons. I even like the squad mates. That at first, when they first introduced them, I couldn't give a shit. And then by the end, I kind of liked them.
They become interesting. They have a little bit of a story.
Yeah.
Like, they each have personality that starts to come out.
I like the non-standard ending.
The to-be-continued ending?
No, I just like that it wasn't... Because basically, so what happens is you take down the capital ship.
Yeah, and then you focus your fire and you blow it up.
And you get a comm with Sev, who's just like, I'm dead. There's a bunch of things here, and I'm getting destroyed. Yeah, I'm getting Order 69. And at first, Scorch, who's your comic relief, is like, we are going back for him. And 38 is like, yeah, we're gonna go back. And 40, who's kind of like the voice of reason, 38 and 40 are the voice of reason. But 40 is like, no, it's the voice of reason. 40 is like, no, these are our orders. And 38's like, I don't give a shit if they came from Yoda. And then the guy on the comm is like, well, they did come from Yoda. And he's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
And it's just like, it's nice because you see that they do want to go back. Like, 38 does care. But orders are orders, It feels kind of good that they actually, they have a moment where they're like, Commando, 38, get your fucking commandos in order, because they're kind of fighting a little bit because they wanted to go back for Sev. But the orders are orders, and it's not a huge downer because Yoda comes and he's like, we rested all our hopes in Delta Squad, and it feels really corny, but at the same time you're just kind of like. Yoda believed in me.
Yeah.
It feels stupid, but it's a nice little Star Wars moment where you're like, we made sacrifices, but it felt good. I can't wait to murder Yoda and every single one of his kind later.
In Republic Commando 2, which that's what this game made me feel. Is like, oh man, Republic Commando 2 would be really fun.
It would be really, really interesting because the biggest issue with this game is every fucking thing related to the shooting mechanics.
Yeah.
They're all bad.
And it's hard to fault them when it's a company who isn't known for shooters. Like LucasArts doesn't make shooters. They make Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I'm just kidding. That's Konami. I fucked up. Cut that. 86 it. Order 69 it. I'm trying to think of the game. Nah, it doesn't matter.
Day of the Tentacle.
Day of the Tentacle is the one.
Is that LucasArts?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not voice acted, so that's why no one plays it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I want there to be a sequel.
Yeah, you said that. I heard nothing but profanities coming from this from Jake's computer about how much he fucking hated this game. And then the first thing he said was, I really wish there was a sequel.
Yeah.
And now having played it, I 100% agree with that sentiment. I think the game is average, maybe a little bit above average. It would be such a good sequel.
I could see it. I can see that there's a game there, the potential for it. And when you hear things like 1313 being canceled, you go, oh man, that could have been the mechanics I was looking for.
Yeah.
Like that could have been the game I wanted. Like, no, I really wish there was another game. Like yeah, whatever, Sev's gone. Like, yeah, I get that that's what the sequel is probably pinning on, is you go through a bunch of stuff and at the end you get Sev back or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I think it would have been cool because you would start to have like the more grandiose battles.
You could have shooting mechanics that work.
You could fill the gap between episode 3 and episode 4, which I think is a really interesting time frame that they could be focusing on.
See, I think a more interesting time frame would be you start basically like right after command. Like you start during episode 3,
yeah,
and then 2/3 into the game, you have to fight Jedi. Like Order 66 comes and you have to do it, and maybe you have an interesting point of view because you're a commando. You actually have a little bit of free will, versus the other clone troopers, which have no free will.
That would be the closing chapter, I imagine.
Yeah, it'd be pretty
Order
cool.
69.
And because there's a lot of cool things you could do with it. Maybe Delta Squad, because they don't really go into how different they are. Maybe it's even possible that they kind of, because they already at this point it would be Scorch and 38 and 40. Maybe 38 and maybe 40 turns on 38 and Scorch. There's lots of cool things they could do. Nothing story related or even like mechanically is wrong with Republic Commandos, except for the main way the player interacts with the game. Your guns all feel bad. Does a single one of them feel satisfying?
Not really. They all feel lackluster.
Every single one of them feels like they have no weight at all.
Like when you come off of games like Call of Duty and you come off of games like Counter-Strike, where guns
or
feel
Halo.
Yeah, even Halo. I will even say Halo.
Like they feel
Half-Life 2.
Yes, Half-Life 2 is a pretty good example.
Weapons feel like weapons in those games. Where this one, everything's just floaty and wrong.
Feels so floaty. Every weapon feels so floaty. Like you never feel like you're dealing damage to anything.
There's no feedback for damage for the most part. Especially with the droids, you don't know that you're doing anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes with the slavers you get some feedback, but
the slavers are nice because if you deal headshots, they die almost instantly.
Yeah.
But it's again, there's no punch to anything.
Yeah.
And it feels like it takes what should be an 8 out of 10, like really, really great game down to 6 or 5. Like just mediocre. Like it just works. Like I didn't want to die while I played it, but I wasn't particularly interested in it either.
I would replay the game if they remastered it and put better shooting mechanics. Like, that's how fun the game is to me. Like I would play it again if you gave me modern controls. Take your new DICE engine, Frostbite engine, and make Republic Commando 2.
Yes, that'd be perfect. Like the grittier feel of the guns from like a Battlefront clone, or Battlefield clone, which is the new Battlefront.
Yeah.
Or or even Call of Duty. Like, I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan at all. Like, I like 4 and 3 a little bit. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of the games, but I feel like this is a good way to use it. There's a lot of Star Wars games. You can play Battlefront 2 if you want to play the, like, more fun Star Wars games, or Jedi Outcast 2, or KOTOR 2. Like, there's lots of different things that you could look at. But I feel like those snappy, grittier controls where things die very quickly and you die very quickly, and it's a lot more hit scan weapons, which, you know, don't always work in Star Wars, but I needed a couple that weren't just a really, really slow-firing sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't mind dealing with a bunch of flying shit if I have hit scan weapons. It's very, very weird to have all these really inaccurate feeling, like the targeting reticule's way too big for everything. It's just very odd.
Again, it feels very much like it was made by a company who's never made an FPS.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Which is fine, but it also came out 4 years after Halo, which this game is very reminiscent of, in a way.
Almost like a clone of it.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2 came out in 2004.
Yeah. If you're going to compare this to Half-Life 2, it's not fair at all. Like, Half-Life 2, every gun, even the shitty pistol, feels like a gun.
The crowbar.
Everything has weight to it.
Like, when you're using your melee attacks, they don't feel like you're connecting.
Yeah, half the time they don't. They feel like they're connecting with the little droids.
Yeah.
But that's it. And they also don't connect with the babies, I found out. I don't think, at least. I tried to fucking kill one for an hour with a melee attack.
For an hour.
Yeah, it's just such a shame, because this game, like, it has a grittier tone, which it needs to have an even grittier tone, I think. Because I felt like it kept pussing out halfway through, where it's kind of like, yeah, okay, we're done.
Yeah, whatever.
Move on. Like, it needed to have a grittier tone. Like, when you're in Kashyyyk and you're using bodies as cover, you get the feeling of what you feel like the game designers wanted the game to feel like.
Yeah.
Which is, like, grittier, still Star Wars-y, but a different look at the universe.
Yeah.
Which I think feels really cool for the most part.
You see it from the soldier's perspective, which should be darker and grittier.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, I could see this game with an M rating, you know, because it should be an M-rated game. You're fighting people, you're killing babies, you're doing a lot of violence. People are being killed around you. Like, it's a violent game in the end.
Yeah, it just
and I think it would benefit from being a mature game.
It doesn't ever feel violent because nothing has weight to it.
Yeah.
Nothing. No shooting mechanic in this game has a weight to it.
Which stinks.
Yeah, it sucks. This game is a good game marred by its shooting mechanics, and that's it.
It makes me curious what Visceral is going to make for their Star Wars game, because I'm hoping it has a much darker tone.
Visceral's making a Star Wars game?
Yeah, because they're an EA company. EA gave Star Wars to DICE to make Battlefront, and Visceral has a game.
Oh, interesting.
And then supposedly 1313 is being put out eventually.
Interesting.
Hopefully without Boba Fett.
Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Psh, get it? I did a whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm funny.
You're so funny. I wish I recorded it. Put it on the Goodnight channel, Snapchat.
Yeah. Follow us at Goodnight channel, snapchat.cu.eu.
Anyway.
.ru.
Anything else? I think that's it.
Not really. I'm just kind of disappointed in...
Yeah.
I find it very odd that people love this game so much.
Yeah, I was reading reviews, people constantly saying, oh, it's the best Star Wars game. And I've played better.
Yeah, so have I.
I mean, I have nostalgia for the Shadows of the Empire, but I think it's a better game story-wise. You know, I don't know about shooting-wise because it's on the N64.
Yeah, so no is the answer.
But
let me tell you how you aim in that game. It's bullshit.
It is. I really wish that could be fixed. Like a remaster of that game would probably.
I'd prefer a remaster of Republic Commandos.
Remaster everything. Desktop adventures.
Sell
Remaster.
it to me 3 times. I don't care.
Like they're doing.
I'll buy it
Final
10 times.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that? Because
God,
that's a whole
whatever.
podcast in itself.
I don't. Well, the problem is I don't give a shit about Final Fantasy.
Not yet.
Not yet. When I play 7, maybe I'll care.
We should do it on here.
Anyway.
Cut that out. Cut it out. So it's not on here. So what are your final thoughts?
The game in my head when you play Jake played music before we started, music from the game. The game in my head is such a good game. The Republic Commandos that I played inside of my head is amazing. The Republic Commandos that I played while I was sitting there at my computer was mediocre. And it sucks because it has everything. It's just missing, the first-person shooting part of the first-person shooter. Like, it just doesn't feel good. If it felt good, this would be such a good game. But I think a lot of people are playing the game in their head.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, oh yeah, I hunkered down with my buddies and we shot shit and we held out in a hangar bay while an elevator rose, and it was really cool. And when I think back on it, I think that, and then I think about what I actually felt while I was playing it, and it was like, yeah, and then I shot, anytime I had to actually fire on anything, it was just horrible. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't feel good. It's sad. It makes me cry. It makes me sad.
Yeah, I'm sad too that this game exists in a inferior format. Good thing we didn't have to play it on Xbox.
It's true. My hands don't fit on the controllers. I don't know if I said that already, but
you did.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I can't get to the buttons or the sticks. Like I have to play it like a fighting game.
It's like a table-sized NES controller that you're describing right now.
Well, to me it is. It really is. So usually when I play Xbox, which is often, I hold the control stick like a wine glass, right? Like a wine glass. And I let my fingers up at the top, and I go like that, and I just ignore the other stick and the trigger. Yeah. Okay.
I got it. I got the visual.
Good.
All right. So for me, I think it was a good game. I don't think it was the best Star Wars game. I probably wouldn't play it again anytime soon.
No. Fuck no.
I'd have to completely forget about the shooting mechanics for me to ever want to play this again. I really. It's been said, I really hope that they would have made a sequel. Sadly,
I really hope they will make a sequel.
I mean, it seems so far out now. I doubt it. Not Disney owns it, and I don't think they want to have anything to do with the prequel zone.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of like, no, we're gonna, Order 69 it. Gonna keep making that reference.
I like that reference. It's a good reference.
And it won't make sense until after they listen to the whole thing.
Stay around after the credits. Also, we don't have credits, so.
Yeah. We should have credits.
Let's have credits.
Anyway. So I'm excited for a game that doesn't exist, sadly.
Yeah.
Like, it made me... I would go out of my way to read a Republic Commando book. That's how much I enjoyed these characters, and I want to know about their adventures, but I'm probably never going to do that.
No.
But it's nice to know that there's that
the
there.
thought's there.
Yeah. Like, there is a sequel maybe in those books.
Yeah.
But I'll never know, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Coming from a person, I think we both... I mean, how do you feel about the prequels?
They're horrible.
Okay. Yeah, coming from two people who fucking hate the prequels... I really like these characters. I had a lot of fun in this world that they made.
The only thing that those prequels get wrong
is everything. Everything.
And this just kind of like deals with it and makes something
cool. Interesting. Like I said, I think I got a little ahead of myself when we were talking about the sequel. Like, there's lots of cool places that these characters could go to.
Yeah.
And even though I hate what happens in the prequels, these characters could react to it in an interesting way, or you can make an interesting game out of what happens. Like the whole Order 66 thing and the Order of the Jedi. I fucking hate it. Yeah. I hate it.
I was going to say that the only thing wrong with the Star Wars prequels is they are entirely made to be a merchandising vehicle for toys.
Right.
And this game, is like, hey, here's a darker look at the universe that you were shown in the movies that looks fucking like trash. And I think that's what makes this good, is that you get to see a different perspective of that universe that is really boring. Here's a much more interesting take.
Right.
And the movies try to do it, and I wish they didn't. Like, they didn't need it. Like, you have enough mediums now that you can accomplish this stuff. Like, the third movie opens with that 20-minute battle in space.
It's like an hour. When all is said and done, it is so fucking long.
And it's worthless to me.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on. The story is nonsense. I don't know what's going on ever. Even after the end of the movie, I went, what? And then that's this game, even though it does lose track of its story a little bit, and isn't entirely sensible because it's dealing with the prequels, and that doesn't work.
And they had limited. It felt like when they reintroduced slavers, I feel like they probably wanted to put something else here, but they
budget
probably,
and yeah. That's what I felt like. Oh, they have these assets. Let's reuse them.
Yeah, and we'll try to craft the story enough so that it kind of makes sense.
You could fight those robot bodyguards, but that would be so tedious and boring fighting them over and over and over again. So I understood them just recycling, but if they removed the recycling, I would say the game would be a little bit better for that. But unique enemies for each chapter, and that's what you fought for each chapter, with a couple callbacks, but not the entire game.
Yeah, it
calling back to battle droids the whole time.
Yeah, it's just battle droids are not. It sucks because they are working with the prequels, and the main enemies in the prequels are battle droids.
Yeah, and they're horrible.
They're just boring.
I just hate that the battle droids are in the first movie just pointless, so entirely weak that they're pointless, and then they're never improved upon after that. I feel like a single Jedi could take out every battle droid in the universe. That's how weak they are. So entirely.
Well, I mean, they're weak in the game, too.
Yeah.
They're a little bit scary when you first see them, but then by the end of the game, they're pointless. You really do just tear through them. They don't mean anything, which is cool. I think that's a nice character progression that's based on character or player skill, not just, we got stronger weapons, so now they're easier. You just learn that you can deal with them really easy.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Well, I'm excited that we finished this game so that we can start working on Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Which will be out a week from after this podcast comes out.
And then after that, we'll play the porn version of Chrono Trigger, Bono Bigger.
Wow. There's
gotta be 20 Star Wars porns, right? Do you think there's any where Palpatine's just execute order 69,
and he lifts off his robe?
Oh, and he's got a big fucking dingus.
It's huge.
Huge.
He uses the Force to make it lift because he's old. So
yeah. He force fucks people.
Yeah.
And he's just no.
You just peaked that so loud. Fucking hell. It's going to take ages to normalize this audio.
You are defeated. Pew! And he lightnings Mace Windu, who's a girl in this version. Fucks the shit out of her.
What's her porn name?
Mace Windu. Mace Vagina. And she's Skin Diamond.
Skin Diamond.
And she plays Mace Vagina. And so she comes in with all her other. She's got Kit Fisto. They don't even have to change his name. He's instead of tendrils, they're just dildos that hang off his head, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's him, a couple other dildo-looking aliens, and they come in and
Dildo
they're
Head. Remember him?
Yeah. Dildo Head. Yeah. It's just Dickhead, the cone head guy with the dick in the head.
Yeah.
They all come in. Skin Diamond's in the front though. Is Mace Vagina. And then you've got what's his name, played by some old guy, probably. I'm sure Peter North is probably 80 by now. So Peter North is Senator Palpatine. So they come in.
Mandingo as
Who is that?
Mandingo?
I don't know. I'm not good at porn. I only know those two.
All right. Well, we won't get into it then. If you don't know who he is, it won't make any sense.
And then so they come in. They're like, Senator Peepatine. That's his name, Peepatine, in this version. Senator Peepatine, you're under arrest for crimes against Jedis, I guess. I don't know. And he's like, and he takes out his little thing, right? And it's a big fucking dildo, like a laser dildo, and it wobbles all around. And then he gets up and he spins, and they fight him for a little bit. And then Anakin comes in. Anakin,
You gotta have a good porn name.
Anakin Skyfucker. Anakin
course.
Skyfucker comes in. She's played by Bailey J. Because I want her in there somewhere. I don't know where. I didn't think of a better place. So she's Anakin. Anyway. So anyway, Anakin comes in, and it's Mace Vagina over Peter North. I forget what I already called Palpatine. and Peter North Peter North got monster face now, and he looks at Anakin and he's just like, "She's killing me." And then I guess they have to have sex with her first, and then they fucking fling her out a window. I don't know the exact sequence of events that are gonna happen. Basically, Bailey J kills a bunch of fucking kids. And then Palpatine orders 69, and then they fuck everyone. The end.